Hey guys, Martin here, bringing our Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we've got a new burst mode in the game today versus the Tech Janemba Dokkan event, and we are going to go ahead and jump in and get the missions done here. So you can see here, as always, for burst mode we have two specific categories that it wants us to use. The first one is Saviors and the next one is Corroded Body and Mind. All of the other missions are just incremental score increases, as always going up to the final one being 6,000 points. So as I always say with these burst mode videos, what you really want to do out of these two categories is whichever one you can build the best team, that's the one you want to go for, the 6,000 points. And then all you have to do to complete the other mission, because that will be the only mission you have left, is you can come into here, turn off all the modifiers, just put on the category one that you want, which let's say was Corroded Body and Mind for your second run. You're only going to get 1,150 points, but without any of the other modifiers on, the event is literally just a Dokkan event level with no extra difficulty. So you'll be able to smash through it nice and quick and get the last mission done. I always do, for my burst mode videos, I get the 6,000 points with both teams just to show that it can be done, and obviously whichever one of those two categories is your strongest, you'll be able to build a similar team and then do the other one as you see fit. Now obviously if you want to go for a higher score, you can get the extra coins for buying the OSTs and then like the silver coins for the skill orbs and stuff like that. We do often in the Discord have like a friendly sort of challenge of who can get the highest score. So if you do want to get a score higher than 6,000 and post it in the Discord, remember the link to join is down below. Even if you don't want to post a burst mode high score, do join the Discord, join the community. But yeah, we're going to start off with Saviors. Now the Saviors roster is a bit, you know, and I didn't want to just use the physical LR Pycon because I know a lot of people won't have summoned for him. So in order to make the best roster that we could with this team, I'm going for the AGL and Tech types, which is a slightly lower score than the highest scoring one, which is AGL and physical. But the physical roster is not particularly great outside of LR Pycon anyway. So we're going to use AGL and Tech types. We've got the 500 or less team cost, so we can get some LRs in there. And then I always put on the status effect blocking because it doesn't necessarily make a huge difference. We're used to difficult events not being able to do that anyway. And then obviously we've got the enemy having damage reduction only against the typing that we're not using, so that doesn't really affect us at all. Give the enemy damage reduction. As I always say, the main goal for these, I think, to get you to 6,000 points is you should try giving the enemy the defensive capabilities, but not like tons and tons of offense, right? Because that unfortunately will create the opportunity for you to get like one shot if the wrong unit takes a super. So we've literally only given him 50% attack, which when you think about how easy Dokkan events are, 50% attack on top is not really a huge amount, right? And then 200% defense. We couldn't go for the lowest one because we obviously had to make the score up to 6,000. We've got the 1,000% extra HP. No damage reduction, no type disadvantage orbs hurt us, no allies minus key. We didn't need to go for any of that. So you can see there's a lot of room there if you want to go for a higher score. Because even turning on like these, for example, wouldn't necessarily make it that much more difficult. But obviously the goal here is just to go for the 6,000 points. I'll probably set a high score with a different team, maybe using my Pycon or maybe using Corroded Body and Mind. We'll see how it goes. But this is the team that we've made. I couldn't see any Gohan friends on the list. We might have to just use the friend that it gives us, but Hybrid Saiyans Goku family. Oh no, there is a friend one there. What's the... they're at 90%. Okay, we'll grab them. So you can see here we've got Tech Gohan. He was the OG Saviors leader. And then we've got the AGL Ultima Gohan from last year's Golden Week. AGL Pycon, obviously with his Easy A. Tech Super Sentai Gotenks Super Easy A. I put him on the team because I know not everybody would have the LR. If you have the LR, obviously you're going to want to use him instead. Tech Oob from Battlefield has the start of turn heal transformation that could come in handy. And then the Yajirobe, his very old banner unit, slot 3 floating support character. So that's our team for Saviors. We're going to jump in and we will see how we go. Obviously we're not using the allies minus key, so it doesn't really matter too much, but I usually try and make sure to grab as much key on the way into the fight as possible. If you are using the allies minus key modifiers, then it's definitely a good idea to do that, so you can make things a little bit easier for yourself. But obviously we're not gonna worry too much about that. I mean, to be fair, the team isn't the craziest in terms of like links and stuff, right? So it might actually still be helpful to have picked up some of that key. Yeah, I think we could probably just do this. We'll get the full key for Gotenks at the end so that he can have the dodge chance. Not that we should need to worry too much, because like I say, with this being only a Dokkan event level in terms of difficulty, and we've given him only 50% extra attack, it's really not going to be too much of a huge issue. Yeah, Tala, how's it going? Should I buy Gohan and Piccolo or a dupe for Cell Max? I mean, unfortunately, at this point, like, I feel like neither of them are particularly worth having. If you're talking about, like, with yellow coins, even though it's going to be a while for him to actually come back, I would say, like, just save them for Pycon. Because I think he's good enough that by the time he comes back, we won't have had any massive power creep, unless the worldwide goes crazy. So when he comes back and is available with yellow coins, he'll still be good. But yeah, we'll put, so Yajirobe is our designated slot 3 float, provides support to the team. Relies on dodge against tougher enemies, but shouldn't really have to worry too much here. Obviously Tech Gohan's not getting hit first, so he's not going to be doing crazy damage, but it should be fine. Can we get the additionals? Yeah, there we go. It's not quite the quad super turn, but we'll still take it. Two normals, 2 supers. I think that's okay. And then AGL Gohan at 11 million. I think my AGL Gohan is either 90% or Rainbow. I got insanely lucky, like, hopefully we can repeat that this year, right, with Golden Week, but I got insanely lucky on his banner. It took me like tickets and like 400 stones to get him to 90%, which is kind of crazy. And that was like the last copy was from the pity, because I got super lucky with the tickets, and then in the first few multis pulled like so many SSRs. The tickets give you pity coins as well. They're like, I only went to 400 stones because then that literally got me to pity to get the extra copy. So very, very lucky. Hopefully, like I say, the Part 2 LR for this year can be of a similar level of luck. But alright, so do I want to keep Oob on rotation? What do you guys have? Cold Judgment and Fierce Battle. You guys have Cold Judgment and Revival. Revival is 5% attack and defense and 2 key. I mean, Pycon is just the better unit overall, so probably just keep Pycon on rotation, really. Do you think LR Pycon is better on release than Bulma was back during hers? I would say no, because at the time when Bulma came out, like, obviously one of the big leader skills in the game was the... actually, no, that was afterwards, wasn't it? With the worldwide, and then having... the blue boys having the superclass sub-lead. But like Bulma was one of those characters where like you could just run her on teams. I mean, when she first came out, people were running her like off lead in some events, and because she was so strong defensively when she first came out, like she was still usable to a certain extent, like without a leader skill. And a lot at times in like some of the tier lists, Bulma was considered like the best unit in the game, whereas Pycon, whilst he is really good, and then even if we're focusing on like the teams that he is on, like he's really, really good. But yeah, Pycon, I don't think I've seen anyone arguing that like Pycon is the best LR in the game. And obviously some of that is to do with the competition, right? Like with how crazy the anniversary LRs are, like it's pretty difficult for a yellow coin LR to come out and be considered like #1 when like, you know, the Vegito and Gogeta are so ridiculously good. But yeah, she was one of those units that like you would just generally, like people would just generally overall, like you'd be disappointed if you didn't have her because she was so good. Like any team you could put her on at the time when she came out, you would just put her on the team. Like, and I mean the thing is with Pycon, it's kind of similar, but only because he's on such few categories. Like, if you can put him on the team, then he can be really good. But that's because he's only on like 4 teams, and he supports like 2 of those. So obviously you're going to want to use him if that's the particular team that you're using. But yeah, go Gohan and go Tanks. Unit Super not getting dodged. I love because it's the card art, like Piccolo just appears there in the background and then is gone. Like, I know that's because that's where the original art comes from, but it's so funny that Piccolo is in the art but has literally nothing to do with the card, like, at all. Gohan getting his additionals. Okay, Janemba's done a few dodges, but it hasn't been too bad. Obviously, that could be, your experience with this event could differ based on your RNG. Like, if he just dodges like absolute crazy, that could obviously be very annoying. But we've gotten relatively lucky here. He hasn't gone full on UI on us. In fact, yeah, we've got the final phase now. This is where it could, of course, he could, of course, go crazy. I think his dodge chance is higher in this phase anyway. Okay, so they just have Fierce Battle. They just have Fierce Battle. Okay. Alright, Pi can't get his orbs if we put him in slot 1. So if I do this, that should drop those in orbs. Yep, there we go. Grab those for you. And then grab those for you. Give that a bit of extra support. No attack in slot 1 though, so obviously Gohan not going to be hitting as hard. But this is where we could see UI Janemba. Of course he dodges the normal, doesn't dodge the normal. Damn, 3 out of 4 attacks he dodged in slot 1 there for Gohan. Paikon got an additional attack that was a high chance to super and 10% damage reduction per rainbow orb. Would that make him the best? I don't know about the best. That would definitely make him considerably better. Because he has like 80% chance to dodge before he gets his first hit. If he was then also getting damage reduction with rainbow orbs, which he does make, like, he would be really good in slot 1. And getting the additional would be really helpful, because the fact that he can't additional is probably one of the big drawbacks for him, right? Because obviously you get that turn, he can be dropping like a 70 million attack stat with a guaranteed crit, and then he doesn't do anything else after that, which, I mean, still good considering he's a more support and utility based character. But plus, yeah, if you get the full key, I mean, it's not a thing that's a huge thing in events, like tough events. Obviously here it would be quite useful, but the fact that they can't dodge, which I didn't actually think about, but yeah, that is quite funny. If you have LR Paikon, one of his abilities after he transforms is that his attacks are guaranteed to hit if you get 24 key. So this Janemba wouldn't be able to dodge his attacks if you have LR Janemba for LR Paikon for this burst mode. You know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, Gohan will eat this all day long. As though we haven't given the enemy that much extra attack, so that's fine. Obviously, if you want the event to go faster, you could give the enemy a little bit more attack and then a little bit less defense. But, because I mean, like, again, we could probably even give the enemy like 100% extra attack, and it's really not going to make that much difference. But I suppose it all depends. Like, if you get really unlucky with the enemy dodge RNG, you could be stuck here for a little while. But we haven't done too badly. Crit from Gohan. Yeah, I mean, we're not far off killing him here. If Gohan hits again, yeah, there we go. Could be GG this turn, maybe. No, we didn't crit. That was going to be a crit, and then he dodged. Oob with the miss. Into the additional though. Kamehameha, let's go. Which he also misses. But yeah, I mean, Oob's one of the weaker defensive units on the team, and he's still taking double-digit damage from these normals, so we don't need to worry too much. Let's transform Gohan here. See if we can get the land the finishing blow. Okay, we can't get the Paikon's orbs, we can get the support at least. And we'll get the 11 key for Gotenks if he even needs to attack. course he did. Come on, Gohan. You got one in you, no? Okay. UI Janemba strikes again. Bro. He knows. This is his final turn. He knows he's hanging on by a thread. Bruh. Actually, Gohan's active skills can't be dodged, can they? So, there we go.
You can't.
And of course he didn't crit. Because if he crit, we would have killed him. Okay. Can we finally land our finishing blow? I love that the dodge icon comes up like as Gohan's like turning around to do the like back fist. So that's what happens when you turn away from your opponent. He just dodges. But there you go. We finally managed to... Oh no. He's got like 1 HP. Come on, Gohan. Hey, there we go. UI Janemba almost got to us, but there we go. Alright, so we take him out. The funny thing about Burst Mode is the fact that it is still at heart a Dokkan event, so you get the medals at the end, which obviously for a lot of people, myself included, are just completely pointless. Unless they bring out another LR Janemba in the future, I guess, that is going to need these tech medals, then at least I'll have a few of them already. But there you go, 6,000 points with the Saviours team. Bang on 6,000. So we can go ahead and grab our Burst Mode missions, which of course will be all the missions except for the Corroded Body and Mind team, which we will jump in and do next. So let me know down below, what did you use for your Saviours team? What points did you get? Did you go for 6,000? Did you go for a higher score? And we will jump into the Corroded Body and Mind run now. Okay, so now we're going to jump in and do the Corroded Body and Mind run. So as you can see, Corroded Body and Mind gives you 100 less points. We are going to use Tech and Physical, so that does give us a few more points than AGL and Tech that we used previously. So we still end up needing 50 extra points. So I've kept on all the same modifiers, the 500 or less team cost, the status effects, obviously the damage reduction only from the typing that we're not using, 25% damage reduction, none of this stuff, 50% extra attack, 200% defense, 1000% HP, and then to get the extra 50 points we've just put on this, 50,000 damage or less will only do 0 damage, because realistically even additional normals from the units on this team should do more damage than that, so that shouldn't really come into play at all. And so yeah, there's our 6,000 points. This is the team that we got. Now obviously we've got some characters like Physical Rose, who to be at his best wants loads of super bosses allies, but realistically, like, because this event isn't super difficult, the super bosses allies just give him the extra damage reduction, which he's not necessarily going to need. And plus we've got, you know, we've got him, we've got the Goku Black, so we've got 12% damage reduction, which, or 12% extra, because he has some already in base. Any excuse to use Super Saiyan 3 Rose, obviously he only has a chance to guard in the early turns because we don't have a bunch of crossover allies, but either way, this team should work out nicely. 2 Tech Janemba leads. Physical Rose would give some of the characters on the team a 200% lead. In fact, I think it's everyone except for the Tech Vegeta, so we could use him as the leader and still use a Tech Janemba friend, but just going to run it back like this for the Corroded Body and Mind mission. Should be straightforward enough, obviously with the Tech Janembas providing the support, and then we'll do the same again where we go for the key at the beginning here. Gonna have a lot of support, so quite lucky with the numbers here though, although until now, but yeah, just get that. If I go for the 1 and then we get like a larger number, we're not going to get anything, so we might as well get what we can. Okay, so obviously Tech Janemba with his Easy A, super good in slot 1, so I'll go ahead and do this. Add these for you. No rainbow orbs for physical rose on the first turn, but that's going to be fine. 4,623 is only a tiny amount of stones. Damn. Well, from doing the content today, we got back up over 500. I got lucky and got Pycon off of the ticket, so I didn't actually have to spend any stones on his banner. So obviously I'll be picking up some of the sale packs and tickets and stuff for Golden Week, but already having 500 like going into it is pretty good. Because the Golden Week banners usually have the 3+1 for the limited time, don't they? So yeah, going into the celebration with already a couple of rotations ready to go is good. But yeah, physical LR Janemba, get his couple of attacks off here, get some build up in the first turn. Obviously Janemba giving like 60% support to this team. It's a shame that physical rose does rely on super bosses for like his peak performance, because like super bosses has fallen off so hard now. It's not as bad as GT bosses, but it's one of those things where it's in the same kind of position where it's like they can't just get one new unit and the team will be good. It's like we need like almost like a whole celebration themed around it, where like over half the team is replaced with like new units. Right, so I keep you on rotation because otherwise you don't get your stacks. And do that and do that. I mean, the Vegeta, it might be awkward for the Vegeta to transform depending on how we go with like the HP for the different phases, but again, that's not going to be a huge issue. But yeah, it'll be quite a while till we see it, because obviously it was only the worldwide celebration for 2023. But like Tech Fusion Tamasu LR, like ECA, be so good. I loved that unit so much. Like he stayed relevant for a while, but now that he has fallen off, that's kind of the linchpin. Super Bosses doesn't really have like a really good slot 1 tank, and with how hard the events are now, and obviously bosses supering in slot 1 being quite common, like the team just really struggles. And then characters like Physical Goku Black, like his Super Easy A seemed really good on release, and then it feels like he aged out almost immediately. Because he came out for the worldwide, and then in the anniversary content, for like the 9th anniversary, he was getting crushed by certain bosses. So, and then yeah, Cell Max was like crazy on release, and then fell off. So, yes. I mean, Tech Janemba's probably still good enough to be in slot 1 at this point, but might as well just put him here so he loses less of his damage reduction. Yeah, I mean, even like Physical Rose can be good, like in slot 2, as long as he's not getting super attacked. Okay, Super Janemba is here. Yeah, AGL Broly is still good for like outputting tons of damage, but obviously he can get caught by big attacks and stuff as well. Let's do that. And that's the thing with Janemba, even losing like the chunks of his damage reduction in this event where the enemy's not hitting all that hard anyway, don't really have to worry too much. There's our first Janemba dodge. What's going to be really funny is if we transform our Tech Janembas and it's just going to be Tech Janemba versus Tech Janemba in a dodge off. So Rose can get a few additionals off here. Typical, we're gonna land the first one, which is like the weakest, and then he's gonna dodge like our later built up ones, isn't he? Do you know when the LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku returns, the one from the 10th anniversary? The 10th anniversary Carnival LRs, don't they usually return on like the Carnival banners in the worldwide? So it'll be like the worldwide banners, which obviously won't be until like end of August, beginning of September. Or is it before then? Because do they don't return on the Tanabata Carnival banner, do they? Yeah, it is worldwide. I can't get the orbs for you if we put you in slot 1. Do that. They drop the physical ones. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Do that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Vegeta wants a certain number of orbs, doesn't he? Oh well. Yeah, so it'll be the worldwide banners. Which, if you think about it, that'd be crazy. Like, the 2 worldwide Carnival banners are going to have, like, the 4 anniversary Carnival LRs. I mean, realistically, out of the 4, it's only really the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that is, like, a big prize. Gohan is good and fun, but not, like, super great. And then, obviously, the Blue Evolution Vegeta and the Frieza and Goku are just kind of hit and miss depending on the content you're doing. But it still adds a huge amount of value to those banners because they're going to have, like, a new Carnival LR and the 2 anniversary Carnival LRs. Alright, so Rose going to transform. Obviously, for people who didn't summon for Heroes in like 2023, Rose came from. Other characters you can use instead will be characters like Metal Cooler. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Oh wow, their friend doesn't have level 10 links, that's wild. There you go, 9 orbs for you, big orbs for Goku Black. Yeah, here we go. Tech Janemba versus Tech Janemba, and who can dodge the most? Yes, R1 hit with the 25 mil. Let's go. It's on double 180 leads, and he hit for 25 million. It's pretty good. Oh wait, no, that was only AGL Janemba. Now the true dodge off will begin. Although we have a lot of abilities we can use here now. I don't know if is it even worth using the rage mode, because I'm assuming he can still dodge the attacks in the rage mode. I guess we might as well. Why not, right? The first one is the big one, so if he dodges that one, it's going to be annoying because it's the proper big like nuke attack. But 18 mil. Yeah, let's go. I mean, this the thing is, like, his super isn't going to really do a lot of damage to us anyway, but at least we cancel out the fact that he's now not going to super in the follow-up turn. Rage Mode Janemba dodged one of his attacks. There you go. If he dodges the subsequent ones, that's fine, because they don't do as much. No. All the dodging. Right, he didn't dodge the big hit, so that's fine. Could dodge the secondary ones, because they didn't do as much. Where's our domain actually buffing again? Super bosses. So it's going to buff a couple of the characters on the team, so might as well, I guess. I want Tech Janemba to get hit so he can get his last hits in and transform. Do that, and then we can do that. Alright, let's see. How many attacks can we actually land against Tech Janemba? There you go. Starting off strong with the first attack of the turn. Okay, good. Our Tech Janemba on a roll. With the crit as well. We'd love to see that. Okay. 2 out of 3. Pretty good. If I beat all content, how valuable is that Goku still? He's still incredibly good. Like, basically, because of the support that he provides, and especially with the fact that we will eventually be getting, like, the Dyna Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, he will be, like, a unit that you run on a ton of teams. So, unless there's any, like, major power creep in the worldwide celebration, I would say that that Goku is, like, a top pick for coins when he comes back. Of course he's going to dodge Rose. I hope Golden Week is not Saiyan Saga. I don't hate the saga, but it won't be hype right after the Cell banner. Yeah, because that's the thing, it's still a classic saga, right? You know, it's the first major saga of Dragon Ball Z, but like, it's always the Super Saiyan and post-Super Saiyan transformations and fusions and all that kind of stuff that is like the most hype for a lot of people. It'd be the same for me. Like, I wouldn't be like massively disappointed or like upset or anything like that, but I definitely wouldn't be as hype if worldwide was Saiyan Saga. But there you go, Goku Black able to land enough hits to finish him off. So that is the Corroded Body and Mind one. I feel like that one was a easier, smoother run. No, so maybe when I go for setting the higher score, I will use Corroded Body and Mind team, but we'll see how we get on. Like I said, obviously, whichever is your strongest team, that's the one you want to go for, setting the 6,000 points, and then you can just jump back in and turn off all the modifiers. I mean, it should be, I would say, it should be obvious what I mean, but obviously, this is what you would do. Just go in, turn off all of these off, and then do that. And then, even with a not very good Saviors team, like, the event is not going to be difficult, right, with no modifiers on, especially considering you'd be able to stun the seal and all that other stuff. So, but there you go. 6,000 points with Saviors, 6,000 points with Corroded Body and Mind. Let me know how you guys got on with your team builds for both of the missions. Did you get a high score for both, or did you just do the main one and then, like I say, do this to get the secondary one out of the way? And of course, as I say, if you want to set a high score and post it in the Discord, do feel free to go ahead and do that and let us know. We'll see who gets the highest score for this Take Janemba Burst Mode. But yeah, that is going to be it. Let me know how you guys got on with the event, what your scores were, all that good stuff down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.